So in the last session, we discussed about the different type of content blocks that we have. Now next step is to combine those content blocks so that we can create one email message, because that is something we are going to deliver it to the customers. We cannot deliver the content blocks, right? So we have to create one email message which contains these content blocks so that we can send the email message. So let's move on to our folder, and here. So when we click on create button, we can see different type of options that we have. First of the content block, that we saw the different type of content blocks that we have and how we can create them, in which scenario we should create which kind of content block. Now we will be talking about the email message. Okay, okay. So now what we are going to do is we are going to talk about the email message, that how we can create the email message. Now we have three different types of email messages whenever we're going to create. So it's asked us that, okay, you have to choose one option, that how do you going to create an email message. Now, if you have seen your inbox, you must have encountered this thing that sometimes it is a text-based image, text-based email, wherein you only see all the text, like if it is a password reset or a OTP. So those kind of emails that generally don't have images or maybe logo or something like that. It is a simple plain text email. Another email could be HTML based email, where we have all this HTML code. We just want to copy and paste it, and we will paste the HTML code and we are good to go. And the third one is a template based. So in a template based, we can have these content blocks being utilized. So we can just drag and drop all these content blocks. So let's see one by one each and every type of email message. So okay, let's talk about the HTML first. So in HTML based, as our name says, HTML, it means we are not going to use the content block that we have created, but we are only going to rely on the HTML code. So either we can write it from the scratch over here on the screen, or if we have a file which contains the HTML code, we can just browse that file and upload it over here. So let's say if I want to, select this file, and you can select the button, then what will happen? It will bring all the code over here, and I can just um, develop my email message like this, and I'll save this and I can send it over. Now here we have few buttons. So whenever you see one more thing, whenever you come across any HTML based editor or any HTML content block, you will see these options, right? So either a HTML based email message or HTML content block, you will see these small buttons. This is like undo, redo, and cut, copy, paste, and these things. These last four buttons. So first one is the symbol one. So you can add any symbol. Also, let's say if you want to add some checkbox, if you want to add any like heart shape symbol, or generally, let's say a smiling face or something, right? So you can add these symbols. Here we have the code snippet. So if you remember when we were discussing about the code snippet content block, so what we can do, either we can click on this create new snippet button, and we can create one code snippet button. What will happen? It will we will give it a name, we will save the code, and then whenever we want to reuse it, we can just use it. So let's say I have this code snippet for adding a physical mailing address, or maybe adding some personalization. So I don't need to add the personalization every time I create the email message. I don't need to write the code every time. What I'll do, I'll create a new snippet, I'll save this, and it will appear over here in the saved snippets. So every time I need to use a personalization, I'll just click on this. So for example, let me remove this, and I'll add this code snippet demo. Okay. So whatever the text or whatever the code that is written over there, it will populate over here. So if I want to insert, let's say, access token. Okay, so this is the entire code which is written over there. So it will just fetch the code from there, and it will display over here. So,
So
and
all these snippets would be auto-populated, and also we can create a specific one as well.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
this code
So,
snippet is auto-populated.
so code snippet, basically you have two options to create it. Either you can create it from here, and while discussing the content block, I showed you this code snippet content block, right? So when you create
Yes.
that one, it will appear over here.
So in case we want to create any personalized snippet also, that is also possible.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we just have to create one code snippet content block, and like whatever the will write over there, it will fetch on the screen.
Okay.
Yep. So these are the user defined, or like we created these say, like snippets, and there are some snippets which are given by the system. So physical mailing address that we talked about, that we can add the physical mailing address of the company, city, state, and all these things. Forward to a friend. Apart from that, we have view email as a web page. So let's say if you want the user to click, like this basically gives us a link, and whenever the user click on this particular link, the email will open in a browser, not in an email client. So as a web page. Okay, so we'll be able to see everything as a HTML page on the web browser. Then we have unsubscribe center, profile center, and all these things, right? Track email opens. So the important ones are track email opens. If you want to track the open activity, then we have to include this one. And the mandatory ones are profile center and this one, physical mailing address. So we generally use these two. And if you want to track the email open, we will use this one for sure. And apart from that, based on the requirement, you can utilize the given code snippets. Okay, next one is the personalization. So if you want to personalize, how we can do that? uh, Personalization means that we have to populate the data on our email message from one of the field in the data extension or the list, right? We only have two data structure, either list or the data extension. And at the end of the day, what we are doing, we are populating the value that is stored in any of the field of the data extension or the list. So personalization means that whatever the profile attributes that we have, so we can use over here. So for example, when we talk about the personalization, which means that the field name or the attribute has to be surrounded with the double percentage signs, right? So if I'll click on get email, so what it will do, it will just surround this field with the double percentage signs, and it becomes a personalization string. So these are our profile attributes. Apart from that, there are some personalization strings which are given by the system. So for example, job ID. So whenever we will send the email, our job ID will be created. Now what my requirement could be that whenever I send the email, I want to capture the job ID, that what is the unique job ID which is associated with the particular job site. And now I want to save this value, or I want to store this value in one of the data extension. So whenever we will send the email out, one record will be created in the data extension that will store the job ID. So how do we store the data in a data extension? That will be taken care by AMP script. So we will understand that in upcoming sessions, that how AMP script works and how we can perform the CRUD operations and all. Just now I'm taking an example that how we can utilize all these system attributes or the system personalization strings. Subscriber key, email name. So let's say whenever the email is sent out, we want to capture the what was the email name that was sent out, what was the subscriber key, to whom the email was sent out, what was the job ID, what was the member ID. So member ID is nothing but your this ID, your MID, which is member ID. So we have, exclusive member ID for each and every business unit. So we want to capture, okay, from which business unit this email was sent. Okay, so something like that. Now here we have some functions from the AMP script. So let's say if you want to, concat something, what we can do, we can write the concat over here. So we'll understand the AMP script in detail in upcoming sessions. But here they have given, few functions, few frequently used functions that you can use and that are handy to you. So you can format date, format number, lowercase. So we'll be discussing all these functions in detail and how you can write it from the scratch. But if you want to quickly use this function, so you have that option as well. Okay. Um, so let me just add the subject line and let me save this. Okay, and one more thing, whenever we create any HTML-based email message, automatically two different versions of the email message are created. One is the HTML version and another one is the plain text version. And so this will only contain the plain text. Okay, it cannot contain any styling, any color, images, nothing like that. Now, whenever we send the email out, what happens that based on the market, like subscribers preference that is stored in the preference attribute. So we have one preference attribute called HTML email, right? So if that is checked, it means the customer wants to receive the HTML based emails. And if that is not checked, what will happen even if you are sending this HTML email and customer says that, okay, I don't want to receive the HTML version. And then marketing cloud, what it will do, it will send the plain text version to the customer as per the customer's preference. Okay, now let's go ahead and let's take a look at the text-based email message. Okay, so here we don't have much flexibility. We cannot add all the images. We don't have any styling options, nothing like that. What we can do, we can just directly write some text. So we can write, this is text based. And we have all these options over here as well. But let's say, so to basically bring the first name around. Now let's take a look at the template-based email message. So whenever we go to the template-based email message, I mean, we have a couple of options. Let me show you. So we have four different, category of templates that we can choose to create our email message. So what is a template? So template gives us a base structure, or it kind of provides a framework. On top of it, we can develop the email message. So for example, whenever you go to a bank, right, and you want to withdraw some money and you have your checkbook, right? So in each and every check, they have this pre-filled information that, okay, here you have to mention your name, your date, your amount, everything, right? So we have a standard template, check has a standard template, and in which we are going to fill in some information and we are good to go. Similarly, we saw the HTML email-based messages, which are completely blank, right? We don't have anything so that we can start with. We don't have any base structure. We don't know, okay, where to put images, where to put text, where to put buttons and all. In template based, we have four different categories. The first one is the basic one. So in the basic one, what happens is it gives us some layout. Layouts means that it will give us some alignment. Okay, here you can put some images, some text, but these will be empty blocks. They won't be anything, but it gives us an idea that, okay, what type of content block that we can place over here. Um, for example, that if I'll go with the one column image and I'll click on the select and I'll say template based email message basic. In the case of template based email message, two things happens. One thing is that we can drag and drop these content blocks that we have created, In text-based email message or in HTML-based email-based message, we cannot drag and drop these content blocks. And in template also, it gives us a structure. Okay, here it is saying that okay, you can drag and drop one image block. Here you can. So this is a layout content block, and within layout content block, we have couple of different content blocks, right? So we discussed about the layout content block. Layout contains the combination of multiple content blocks within it. So it has some text, it has some button, it has some images, and then um, at the bottom we have this social follow and then some text or something like that, right? So it is giving us a um, structure. On top of it we can develop our email message. So what we can do, we can replace this, we can place any other image. So let's say, so this is the image that we want to place over here. And here I want to place some text and then some button or something like that. So that is something we can. Okay, here also we get two different versions. So this is the HTML version, and another one is the plain text version, where we can see all the text. And this is the code view. So what is happening is that at the time of understanding the content block, we saw that whenever we write something on a text content block or maybe image block or anything, the HTML code will automatically be generated. So what's happening over here, because we are utilizing the content blocks, and it will generate the HTML code for this, but it is a lock, we cannot make any changes over here. Okay. So we can only view the HTML code that is generated for this particular email message, but we cannot edit this code. If you want to make any edit or if you want to change something, we can go to that particular content block and then we can make the changes over there. Let me save this now. So again, we will go to the template option, and then here we will see. So the another templates are the empty templates, but it gives us again a empty structure. Here it is giving us that what type of content block that you can place, right? These are the empty content blocks, but at least they are giving us one idea that okay, what type of content block we can place over here, maybe image, text, or button. But here it is giving us the empty layout, empty structure without any content block within it, right? So for example, if I'll go with this multi-row two column, and I'll click on the select button, and I'll say empty template, email message. I'll click on the add content. Okay, so here it is giving us the empty blocks. I mean, it is not giving us actually the block that what kind of content that we can place, but the empty structure where we can drag and drop any type of content block that we wish to. So if you want to, place the text over here or anything like that, we can do it. I mean, in basic also, it gives us a initial structure, but we are not just limited to use that particular structure. We can make the modifications accordingly. So if we go to the basic one, we can, have the text in place of the images. We can have, buttons in place of images. Whatever we want to changes that we want to make, we can do that. Next one is the themed one. So many a times what happens that we do not have any idea, okay, what. So here in basic ones, what is happening is It is giving us a different type of content blocks, but these are the empty content blocks, right? And here the content blocks itself are not there, but it gives us a empty layout. In themed one, what they are doing is that they are giving us some of the styling, colors, and some content and some more um, in terms of the layout. So, for example, if I want to develop an email for a restaurant chain or a restaurant business, what I can do, I can choose this theme, and it will give me what kind of colors that you can choose, and it will provide us some kind of logo where you can place the phone numbers and maybe some text within that content block. So let me save this with themed template message. Okay, so it is not just giving us the empty content blocks, but with some content within it, right? So what it is, and some colors styling that here you can place the logo, and here you can place the phone number. So it is not just the empty content block, but some text within it, right? So we have got the phone number, we have got this view as web page link over here, and some images and something like that. So if we have a requirement where um, the templates that we have available is somewhat similar to our requirement, then we can choose that and we can make the modifications that type of it. So we are not limited to what we have already over here. If you want to delete it, we can do that. So we can just delete it. If you don't want this particular content block, let's say this one, uh, we can delete this as well. Or if you want to add something additional, let's say I want to have this image block over here, I can just add it. Right? So it gives us the initial version, and based on our requirement, we can make the changes accordingly. Okay, so we were discussing about theme templates, and so it gives us a different styling options and some basic content that we can place in a email message. So let me just save this email message. And the fourth category that we have for the template based email message is the saved category, right? So saved ones, whatever we have saved, that will fall under the saved uh, category of the templates. So let me show you real quick. Okay, so let's say we have created one, basic, we have created one email message based on a basic template, and now we want to make some changes. Okay, it has got, let's say, header and footer, but we want to add some, social media icons in the footer as well. So what I want to do is that, so let's say we have already, what is it? Okay, it's a save template. Okay. So how do you basically get the save template? Let me show you the other way. Okay, so here we can two option. One is the email message, another is the email template, right? So we have two options over here. So email message means that the message itself we are building and it is going to be delivered, right? Whereas a template means that we are just developing a structure, we are just developing a base, a framework that we can use to develop the email message. At the end of the day, email message is going to be delivered. So our goal is to develop the email message. We created the content block so that we can have them in our email message and we can send it to the customers. And apart from that, what we can do, we can choose one template, we can develop one template, and on top of it, basically we'll use the template to create the email message. So we have two different ways to create the email template. First one is the paste HTML. So if we have the HTML code, what we will do, we will paste the entire code over here and we will create the template. So here we will not get the content blocks. We'll have to use the HTML code. And the next one we have is the from existing template. So in which we get these four options. First one is the basic one that we discussed, empty, themed, and saved. So whatever the email templates that we have saved, it will come over here under the save template. Now the messages that we have created, right? These are the email messages. So we have different types of assets. So whatever you are able to see in the UI in Marketing Cloud, each and everything is called one asset, right? It could be a data extension or a list or email message template, whatever it is one asset. Now, so we create the email message, but we did not create the template. So let me do one thing now. Let me pick this one and let me save this one as a template, not as an email message. So now I'm saving this as a, so okay. Let me delete this one. Okay, and what I want to do, I just want to have this one in my template. So I'll save this basic template to demo and then save this. So now this is saved as a template. So now if I go back and what I want to do, I want to create another template based on my saved template. So I'll click on from existing template. And now if I'll go to the saved option, what I'll get is the email template that we had created. Okay, so I can use this one and maybe I can make some modifications and then I can create another template. So we have four different ways to create a template. First one is the basic one, and then empty, and then themed, and then saved. So whatever the templates that we have saved and we have existing, we can make some changes and create another template out of it. And we can use these templates to create the email message. So we have four different ways to create the template, and we have three different ways or four different ways to create the email message. So for the email messages, we saw that first one is the HTML based, and then the text based, and then the template based, and then the existing email. So whatever the emails that we have saved in our account, so we can use any of these email message and we can make some changes. So let's say we already have one email message where the content is almost similar, header and footer, everything is just similar. We need to make some changes in the maybe in some text, right? Maybe we need to change the date or maybe the location. So that is the only change. Otherwise, all the content will remain same, right? But we don't want to make the changes in the same email because otherwise we lose that particular content, right? If we want to check what type of what different email message we sent and so we want to have that as another email message. So what we will do, we will use the existing email option and we'll choose that one and we'll create another email message and we'll just make small changes as per the requirement. Okay. So we looked at how we can create the email message, different type of content blocks, different type of email templates that we have, how we can upload the images and files on the content builder. Okay. Let me show you one more thing here. So whenever we have a template-based email message, so first option that we can use to include the content block is that we can just drag and drop the content block, and then we can choose the content from there. I mean, if you want to create a new content block, then what we need to do, we need to drag and drop this one, and then we can create it from here, right? We have to write something and it will be saved. Another way to, and if you want to add any existing content block that we have already created in our account, what we can do is that we have to go to the content section and then we can add it from there. So let's click on edit button here. So we'll go to the content section here of this particular tab, and then it will show us all the content blocks that we have recently created. Okay, so let's say I want to add text content block over here. Okay, and after that, I want to add dynamic content block. So whatever the content blocks that we have created, we can just drag and drop over here, right? And then we can have we can add some social media icons. In layout, so let's say if you want to add any layout, you can just quickly drag and drop this one, and then you can add the content blocks within it, right? And then the last is the design part. So in design, you can add the color. So what you can do, design like in terms of the template. So if you want to change something, a background or content background, anything like that, to the entire template or to the entire body. And then if you want to change the styling of buttons that you have, right? So you can design the entire email message based on the options that we have over here. So let me just save the changes and okay. So in the content builder, as we have discussed earlier, that it is not just limited to the email message or the email content, but we can create and design the content for each and every communication channel. So here you'll understand that how we can create the SMS message, how we can create the in-app messages, push notifications. Okay. But before that, let's talk about the mobile studio first, so that you get the basic understanding of the mobile communication and all these things. So you will understand SMS more better when we'll create the SMS message over here. So let's switch to the mobile studio, and then again we'll come back to the content builder to discuss about the SMS messages and push notifications. Okay, so now most of the things will remain same as the email communication in SMS. So the way we send the email message, we need the from email address, we need the email address of the recipient, we need one email client, or we need one application using which we can send the email, right? And we need the email content that needs to be delivered. So there are a couple of things that we require. Similarly, if you want to send the SMS, what are things that we require? I mean, for example, if I tell you to send the SMS to me from your phone, so what are things that you will require? Anybody want to share something?
Sorry. I didn't get you. Could you
Like
please
if you
repeat?
want to send SMS to me, I mean, how you can send the SMS to me? I mean, what all information that you would require if I'll tell you to, send me some information via SMS?
Number, your mobile number.
Yes. So you need my mobile number. Anything apart from this? I mean, imagine that you don't have the mobile phone as well with you, and you want to create it from the scratch. So you want to set up everything. So first of all, you will have to have mobile phone device, right?
Yes.
And inside that, you will have to have one SIM card. So you will
SIM
have
card,
to
yes.
go to the SIM vendor, and you will purchase one SIM card. You will insert it within it, and then so that you can activate your mobile number, and then you need the SMS message that needs to be delivered. Some information, some SMS message. So there are a couple of things. So first of all, you need one device, and then the SIM card, and then the recipient's mobile number, and the SMS message that needs to be delivered. So same thing we are going to see in Marketing Cloud. So in like we have this mobile device. So in replace of that, we have Marketing Cloud as a tool that we will use to send the SMS, right? So we are going to we are going to need one application. So we generally have this SMS application in our mobile phone that we click, and then we draft one SMS message, and then we click on the send button, right? Similarly, in Marketing Cloud, we have one application called Mobile Studio, and inside that we have Mobile Connect, where we are going to draft our SMS message. We're going to click on the send button, and then the message will be sent. But we need to set up all these things, right? In Whenever we send this from our mobile device, we need to insert the SIM card, so we have to purchase that. So here, what happens? We don't have general use mobile numbers, but we have something called short code and the long code. We will be discussing about this in detail. But what happens in order to set up the entire process? First of all, we have to purchase this Marketing Cloud tool, and after that, we have we should also have this Mobile Connect included in our addition, or including our package. So we have this application that we'll use to send the SMS. Apart from that, we need a short code or a long code, right? So we have to fill the form and submit the form to the authority, so that they can assign, or they can give us one short code. So once we have procured the short code, and this is associated with our mobile application, or like with our mobile connect, then what happens? We have this tool ready, we have this short code, and everything is ready. Now, next step is to create the email message. So we will be creating the email message, saving the email message over here. All these things are done. The next thing is that we need to send this email message. Sorry, send this SMS message. If you want to send it, what do we need? We need the recipient's mobile number, and where we are going to store this. So we are not going to send one by one, one by one. So if you want to send this to, let's say, 1,000 subscribers, so we need to store these numbers somewhere, right? And we have two structures only in Marketing Cloud. One is a list or the data extension. So either we are going to use the list or the data extension to store the information of all the customers, and then we are going to use that data extension to send the SMS finally to those customers. So this is how we are going to set up everything. So we need Marketing Cloud tool, we need short code, we need SMS message, and we need recipient's phone number if you want to send the SMS. So we'll be discussing all these things in detail. But this was the overview that how we can send the SMS from the Marketing Cloud. I mean, I have sent to more than 1 lakh customers, and we did not face any issue. So generally, there's no hard limit as such. Okay. So when we talk about the mobile studio, it means it is always like it is all about the mobile communication. But mobile communication is not just limited to the mobile connect, or maybe to the SMS messages. We have more than that. So we can reach out to the customers on like on their devices via the apps that they have installed, right? So if we'll talk about the Amazon.com, so we generally have these app installed in our mobile device, and companies generally reach out to us via the push notifications. These days, Zomato, Swiggy, they send us the push notifications, in the day, in the morning, and in the evening, right? So we keep receiving these push notifications. So now the companies just don't have one way to communicate, but they have multiple channels. So let's say if we have line messaging app with the Facebook Messenger, and the company has our line ID or Facebook ID, then they can reach out to us via the Facebook messaging app as well, or the line app as well. So we'll understand these things. So mobile connect is specifically used for the SMS and MMS text messages. So if we want to send the SMS and MMS, we are going to use the mobile connect. Next one, we have the mobile push. So if company wants to send you the push notifications, but this is only possible when the customer has installed their application on their mobile device. Otherwise, we won't be able to send the push notifications to them, right? And then, okay, it is not giving us the option over here, but it is basically the group connect. So group connect is to send the um, message on the messaging applications. Okay, so let's talk about the mobile connect first of all in detail. So whenever we want to send the SMS message, we discussed that okay, we would need either a short code or a long code if you want to send the SMS message. Similar to we need a mobile number if you want to send the SMS from our mobile device. So let's discuss what is the short code and long code and difference between them. So short code is a 5 to 6 digit number. You must have seen this many a times, like 5, 6, 8, 7 or something like that. So companies like Pizza Hut, and they generally have this offer that okay, if you want to have a free pizza, then send us a message on this particular number, 5, 6, 7, 6, 8, something like that, right? Or maybe in maybe there's a some campaign going on, and we have this billboard, and they say that okay, if you want to participate here, then send us the message. So these short numbers are called the short code. Short code are generally used for the bulk messaging. So let's say if you want to communicate something to thousands of customers, right? What we'll do, we will use a short code. Let's say if there's a new notification that you